what if I told you that the way you think about money isn't even yours? The way you save, the way you spend, the fears you carry, most of them were instilled in you before you were even old enough to choose. You didn't just inherit your parents' eye color or last name. You inherited their financial patterns of scarcity, guilt, fear, and sometimes even sabotage. And here's the scary part. Unless you break them, you'll pass them on again. But the good news is that today you'll learn to identify the exact patterns that are controlling your financial life on autopilot. And more importantly, how to break free. Picture this. A child sitting at the dinner table listening to their parents argue about bills. The father slams a letter from the bank down. The mother whispers, "We just don't have enough." That child doesn't just hear the words, they feel the tension. They absorb the fear. And without knowing it, they take on a hidden belief. Money is stress. Money is pain. Now, fast forward 20 years. That child is an adult. They might avoid looking at their bank account. They might overspend to feel in control. Or they might hoard every penny out of fear of losing it. That child could be you. And it's not your fault. You didn't choose those patterns. They were downloaded into you silently, like invisible software. Here's the truth. Money trauma is generational. Neuroscience shows that beliefs about scarcity and survival can literally be wired into your brain before you're even 7 years old. It's like walking through life with an invisible chain tied to your ankle. Your parents didn't put it there out of cruelty. They were chained too. But unless you recognize it and break it, you'll keep moving in circles, never truly free to walk your own path. That's why you might sabotage opportunities without realizing it. That's why sudden money feels unsafe, or why wealth feels out of reach. But here's the mind shift. Patterns are not destiny, they're just scripts, and scripts can be rewritten. Recognize the pattern you inherited. Before you can change your money story, you need to see the script you've been handed. Ask yourself, what messages about money did I absorb as a child? Maybe you heard phrases like, "We just can't afford it." "Money doesn't grow on trees." "Rich people are selfish." Each of these statements is like a tiny seed planted deep in your subconscious. Over time, they grew into invisible fences, walls you didn't even know existed. Here's how it shows up today. Every time you think about taking a bigger step, asking for a raise, launching a project, investing in yourself, a voice inside whispers, "You're not good enough. This isn't for you." It comes from every line your parents told you about never having enough money or never getting ahead in life. Without realizing it, you've erected an invisible ceiling that blocks your opportunities to thrive. You're not failing. You're following the program you inherited. Recognition is power, but it's not enough on its own. Recognition without action keeps you stuck. Trace the emotional wiring. Money is never just math, it's emotion. Ask yourself, what feelings come up when I think about money? Fear, shame, guilt, maybe even anger? That's not random. Those emotions are echoes of your parents' emotional state around money. Example, if your parents fought every payday, you might feel a wave of anxiety the moment money enters your account, even if you're financially stable. Neuroscience calls this emotional conditioning. Your body literally learned to associate money with stress chemicals like cortisol. So how do you rewire something that feels so deep? That's where the next step begins. Rewrite the script with conscious beliefs. Imagine you were born carrying an invisible backpack full of habits, fears, and beliefs about money. Each item placed there by your parents without you asking. For years, you carried this baggage without realizing it, using the same strategies and limitations they live by. Here's the liberating truth. You don't have to carry this backpack forever. You can empty it, choose what stays, and more than that, you can fill it with new, powerful, and conscious beliefs that serve your growth. Each old thought you exchange for a new one is like replacing heavy stones with tools that truly help you build the financial life you desire. Practical step. Replace old money scripts with conscious affirmations that feel true. For example, old script, I'll never have enough. New script, I'm creating more than enough every day. Old script, money always causes problems. New script, money is a tool I use with wisdom and peace. It's not just about repeating words. It's about feeling them in your body until your nervous system accepts the new reality. But rewriting alone won't stick unless you build a new pattern through action. Break the cycle through new behavior. Patterns survive when behavior stays the same. So if you want freedom, you must take actions that directly contradict the old story. If your parents avoided investing, start learning how to invest, even with small amounts. If your parents never talked about money, start having open conversations. If they lived in debt cycles, practice building savings, even $10 at a time. Every small action you take in alignment with your new script is like a hammer, breaking the old mold piece by piece, proving to your brain that the past is not your future. But what about the final step? That's where the transformation takes place for life. Here's the shift. You don't have to carry the weight of generations. You can stop the financial pain at you like a chain of dominoes falling for decades, and you are the hand that interrupts the fall. Imagine yourself not just surviving money, but commanding it with calm, clarity, and freedom. Imagine your children, or the people who watch you, learning new patterns because you chose to break the old ones. You are not a prisoner of your inheritance. You are the architect of a new financial bloodline. If this resonated with you, you're not alone. Thousands of us are waking up to the truth. We don't have to repeat the money stories we inherited. This channel exists to help you rewire your relationship with wealth spiritually and mentally. So if you're ready to keep rewriting your story, hit subscribe, leave a comment sharing the money belief you're breaking, and join this community of transformation. Stay with me because your freedom has just begun.